This is Sportscentre.
Hey, I'm Marissa Roberto, and this is Sportscentre presented by Montana's Barbecue and Bar. And the Jets are in Dallas for Game 4 of their series against the Stars tonight. Coming off a loss in Game 3, Winnipeg needs to do everything in their power to avoid falling down 3-1. As history has shown us, it's incredibly difficult to come back from that 3-1 deficit. Just look at the numbers, 90% of the teams go on to win the series. But luckily, the Jets aren't at that point just yet. So how should Jets fans feel heading into this crucial Game 4? Well, it's a bit of a mixed bag. The biggest thing going against Winnipeg in tonight's game is their struggles on the road in these playoffs, as they're 0-4 and being outscored 22-7. This is a team that's also struggled in Game 4 specifically, as they've won just 3 of their last 11 Game 4s since moving from Atlanta. But more importantly, haven't won a Game 4 since 2021. And while that's concerning, it's nothing compared to Connor Hellebuyck's record in recent Game 4s. Over the last 3 playoff runs, Hellebuyck has been lit up in all 3 Game 4s, and was even pulled early in 2 of those 3 games. But even with his recent struggles in Game 4s, things look a lot better when considering his entire career. But this series specifically has been very up and down for Hellebuyck. He had a rough outing in Game 1, giving up 3 goals. Then we saw regular season Vezina Hellebuyck as he had a shutout in Game 2. And then back to rough playoff Hellebuyck for Game 3 as he was lit up for 5 goals and had a save percentage of just .808 in that game. So it seems like the Jets' fortunes are tied completely to how well Hellebuyck plays and which version they get on the ice tonight in Game 4. I feel as though we've discussed this ad nauseum today, so because of that, Helly will be better tonight. Time to put on your tinfoil hats, NBA fans, because the NBA draft lottery was just won by the Dallas Mavericks. And check out the reaction from the least popular man in Dallas, GM Nico Harrison.
The second pick will be made by the first
Okay, listen, I'm excited for them and everything, but the person that set up this camera could have set it up a little bit higher, no? Like, just let's assume they're gonna get up out of their chairs. Like, this maybe just my content brain, but this could have been done better. And that result had the lottery is rigged crowd going crazy on Twitter. And while it does seem like a wild theory, let's look back at some recent history. Let's start in 2010. LeBron James famously leaves Cleveland, taking his talents to South Beach. And then the next year, the Cavs win a lottery with only a 2.8% chance and go on to land consensus first overall pick Kyrie Irving. 2011, Chris Paul is traded from the New Orleans Hornets to LA. Then in 2012, the Hornets win the lottery and go on to draft Anthony Davis. This pattern continues with the Pelicans in 2019. They go on to trade first overall pick Anthony Davis, once again to LA, only this time the Lakers, and then with just a 6% chance they win the lottery and draft Zion. And then this year, Luka Doncic traded to, you guessed it, LA. So with Luka on the Lakers, the Mavs just have a 1.8% chance to win the lottery, but go on to win it where they will likely draft consensus first overall pick Cooper Flag. So you can understand why this is a conspiracy. The league, at least a handful of times, gets a star to LA, and then the team that loses the star gets rewarded with the first overall pick. I completely understand why the conspiracy theorists have gone completely on with this one. There's too many coincidences to make it not feel real, but it can't be, right? Well, the history of conspiracies in the lottery goes back deeper than you think. Let's go back even further. 1985, the first ever lottery, and the chance to draft Patrick Ewing. The lottery the Knicks won thanks to an alleged frozen envelope. Okay, all the conspiracies aside, how did the Raps end up doing yesterday? Well, not very good, as they actually fell 2 spots as opposed to moving up, and will select 9th overall in the draft. So yeah, the season seems like a big waste as they didn't get a good draft pick and remain on the NBA treadmill. Time now for some Saucy Sounds presented by Montana's Barbecue and Bar. And we got a shout out Stuart Skinner. With all the hockey world doubting him, he bounced back. And he had a 23-save shutout in relief of the injured Calvin Pickard, as the Oilers are now up 3-1 on Vegas in their best of 7. And after the game was asked about blocking out the noise.
So is it tough to block out the outside noise, especially in this town? Living down with this talking.
What outside noise?
No?
I have no idea. No clue what's going on. Again, with the game of hockey, there's so many things that can kind of happen. That's just professional sports, especially in my position. So for me, I mean, I decided to play this position, so it's completely my fault. And it's just, for me, being in situations like this, I've been in them many times before. I'm going to be in them again, you know. So can't really tell the future. So it's just, again, like kind of what I was saying to you, Richard, is you know, just sticking to my process and just playing my game and doing my best out there.
Now that is a goalie. It's Tuesdays. You know what that means. Time for Anytime Goal Scorer Bet on FanDuel. And with one game to choose from, our options are limited. But that's not going to shake our confidence, as we're going with Kyle Connor to score at plus 165 tonight against the Stars. Connor just broke a 4-game goalless drought in Game 3, and we expect him to get back on the score sheet tonight. He's had a very good playoff so far, with 5 goals and 8 assists in 10 games. And if you look at his regular season success against Dallas, he really enjoyed playing against them, with 4 goals and an assist in just 4 games. Now the only thing that gives us pause is the Jets' struggles on the road. I told you in the beginning of the show, they're 0-4 in these playoffs on the road, and are being outscored 22-7. But Game 4 is crucial for their season, and we don't see them going down 3-1 tonight. That's all for today. We'll see you back in tomorrow with the Eastern No Pacific. Have a good one.